Okay, guys, so this is Chapter 8, Section 4, State and Local Governments, which we talked about in class a lot already. You might remember that earlier in the school year with one of our AOWs, we talked about the functions of state governments and the federal government. Well, this lesson 8.4 is titled State and Local Governments. And what we're going to do is we're going to look through the guided reading, excuse me, and then we're going to touch on some key points as we're going through. So Chapter 8, Section 4, State and Local Governments. Let's follow along, please. Although the federal government plays a role in every citizen's life, state and local governments have a more regular and direct impact. The Constitution divides power between the federal government and the states. Okay, important point there. The Constitution divides power between the federal governments and the states. And we see this now with the government response to the coronavirus. We see a federal response with the Centers for Disease Control and some of the federal agencies, Homeland Security. And we also see the states taking their own responses to make sure they're taking action to limit the spread of the disease and to make sure that people are at risk are staying isolated. Every state has its own constitution that is similar in purpose and content to the national constitution. State constitutions have a preamble and a Bill of Rights, but they tend to be longer and include details about finances, education, and other local matters. State constitutions may be changed more easily than the national one. Remember, with the national constitution, our federal constitution has only been amended 27 times in the nearly 240 years that our country has been operating under the Constitution. So 27 times in 240 years is not very often, and also consider that 10 of those amendments were added all at once with the Bill of Rights. So really only 17 times since the Constitution was ratified. In many states, citizens may use the process of constitutional initiative to introduce changes to a state constitution. State governments provide a wide range of services, including law enforcement, education, property protection, health and welfare programs, auto and professional licensing. For example, if you want to get a driver's license, it is a state function to issue a driver's license. States determine who and who cannot have a driver's license. Professional licensing relates to teachers' licenses, medical professionals' licenses. Those are all things that are handled by the state, as is maintenance of state highways and state park and recreation areas. In addition, each state must build and care for its own infrastructure. And we learned infrastructure was a system of highways, bridges, tunnels, and canals. Now, local governments are created by the states and have only as much power as the state allows. Yet, local governments have the most direct impact on people. Local governments provide schooling as well as day-to-day services such as fire protection, waste collection, garbage collection, law enforcement, water management, and health code inspections. Also, local governments often operate facilities such as libraries, arenas, and playing fields, airports, museums, and zoos. The bottom of the worksheet, you've got a Venn diagram, and this is kind of cool. It talks about the responsibilities of state and local governments. About the state and local governments, as it appears on the Venn diagram, is on the area here to the left, the gray shaded area, you've got functions of state government. For example, health and welfare programs, providing health programs and welfare programs for people who are in need. Also, property protection and road maintenance. These are all functions of state governments. Over on the right-hand side of the Venn diagram, you've got, in the gray shaded area, functions of local government to include fire protection, waste collection, and sewer and water services. And in the area of the overlap where the two circles cross, you've got functions of both state and local government. And as you can see, you've got state and local government both have a responsibility in the education of our young people. You've got state and local government have a responsibility for law enforcement. Note that there are state police and there are also local police. So there you have law enforcement. Also, park maintenance is a function of local government. The town park in Hoosick Falls is maintained by the village or the town of Hoosick Falls, while state parks like Cherry Plain or Grafton or Lake George, they are maintained by state government. And also you see a responsibility for both state and local government for the development of businesses. Now you can pause this at any point to make sure that you're picking up on key points. And after you've paused, I would like you to take an opportunity on a separate sheet of paper or on a Google Doc to answer the following questions. One, how are state constitutions similar to the United States of America? Or how are state constitutions similar to the U.S. Constitution, rather? And chart skills, which you can use the Venn diagram to answer. What are the services provided by both state and local governments? This is your assignment that goes along with the reading that we've just done.